Hello and welcome. Today we're going to look at chords, and this is one in a series of lessons which is going to detail how you can use open string chords to take them up the neck and give yourself more opportunities in terms of what you play and how you play it. So first of all, it'd be a good idea just to outline the chords for you to see the chords that I'm going to actually be using here. 5 major chords. And you'll know these if you've done the other lessons in the Institute. So these are lessons that are provided, by the way, from Gary Clinton and Ross Baird. So if you haven't looked at those lessons, check them out. They're really fantastic. So let's look at the 5 chords. I'm going to be looking at G, C, D, E, and A. So these are the 5 chords that I'm going to use to take them up the neck. Now some of these chords are going to be a little tricky to play, and you've got to be careful how you play them because certain notes may be brought in that you don't need. And in one particular chord's case, the D chord, we're actually going to change it. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of theory here, so hopefully it's not too off-putting. Basically these chords, all of these chords are major chords. They're all called triads, and the reason they're called triads you will see up on the screen just now. Fundamentally, there is the root, the third and the fifth. These notes are taken out, and that is actually, in this case it's a G chord, that is the G major chord. The root, the third, the fifth, and those notes are G, B, and D. And all that happens with, say, a chord like this is we actually duplicate these notes again and again. So it's G, B, D, G, B, and then in this case G again, which gives us a nice full sound. So if we go back to our D major chord, we've got a D, an A string on 5, which isn't the root, then we've got the D, then an A again, a D, and an F sharp. What we're going to do here is take this F sharp and put it onto the 6th string, because both of these strings are E strings. So we're going to play the F sharp here and refinger the chord like this. Now when we put a note in the bass which is not the root note, we call it an inversion. This is the third, so we call this a first inversion. Whenever you have the third of a chord, any type of chord, major, minor or dominant seventh, if the third is in the bass, it's called a first inversion. And if the fifth's in the bass, it's called a second. We won't actually be needing that second inversion. So with that in mind, I'm going to take these chords, these 5 chords, up the neck and show you how they look. So we have G major. Now down the bottom we're going to include this first string. We won't be, if we have to fret it for another chord somewhere up the neck, we won't be using the first string, we'll not play it. So it's G there, and now we've got G here at fret 3. That's the E shape being taken up and barred. And then we have that D shape here. So remember the D shape, and then we put the third in the bass, and all I've done is I've slipped this up to here. There's the root note G. This is a G major chord, first inversion. The next chord up is this chord. Now that is a C major chord, but I'm just taking it up to fret 10. And that's now a G major. And finally we take an A chord, and if we take it up to here, I might just do it like this. Sometimes you see people play like that. It has its benefits playing it like that. If you play it like this, it's good because you can do things like take this pinky off here. But I might just play it like that. So let's just go through those 5 G majors again. Using a G shape, we've got G major down there. Using an E shape but barred at 3, we've got it there. Using a D shape, first inversion, we've got it here. Position 6 really, with the root on 5. Remember, your position is 1 fret lower than your second finger, not your first. Then up here, it's position 7, fret 10 is where your root note is. That's G major with a C shape. And finally, G major with an A shape. So those are our 5 G majors. So let's look at it, doing it. I want to show you a little exercise that I give students, which is really quite handy. And we're going to be playing the tune, the chords to the tune Walking on Sunshine, or if you ever watch the English cricket programme, there's a da 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 da. You might know it. It's a bad rendition, but basically it's just chords 1, 4, and 5. I'm not going to go into what 1, 4, 5 means. If you don't know, we'll cover that in another lesson. Basically G, C, and D. So it's going to be played like this. So it could be so that's great, it's one way of playing it. That was G, C and a first inversion D. Back to G. But if it were just stuck down there, then well, it's a bit limiting. I want to show you new ways to do it, so we could play it here. G, that's an E shape. C, that's an A shape. And D, like this, that's a C shape. So let's hear, we have this. Okay, so now I've got 2 positions. Let's look at the third position. We can play it as a first inversion. That's a D shape, played here as a G at fret 5, or the finger, the root of 5. There's C, is played with a G shape. Now remember I said earlier, we're going to play it, so we're not going to play this first string, because it gives us a note that we can use with a chord, but we don't want to use for this. So we just want to keep it simple, so we're only going to play up to 2. And then the next shape we're going to play is an A shape, barred at 5, which is D major. So again, chords are G major, C major, D major, C major, and G. So it goes. That's the third position. Fourth position, same again, same drill. G major with a C shape, C major with an E shape, D major with a G shape, and then back to our C, or, so we get this. Okay, 1 to go. And that's an A shape is playing G major. A D shape plays C major. An E shape at 10 plays D major. So here's the progression again. Okay, so let's just play, I'm going to play all of those all the way up. Alright, so you can just hear how it sounds. Every single instance I'm playing a different shape for the chord progression. I'm not repeating anything. So we've got G, C, D, C, G, C, D, C, G, C, D, C, G, C, D, C, found that useful. I think it's really good to be able to play chords in different positions on the neck, and by using those 5 shapes we can actually play, as you can see, the same chord progression in 5 different places. Obviously it's not just limited to the key of G. You should try these in as many keys as you can think, and you'll start to find that what you want is to make sure that you're not moving very far. You know, you're not always doing this because you only know one chord shape. So I hope you enjoy this. In the next lesson we'll be looking at exactly the same thing, using exactly the same chords, but we'll minorize them. So I look forward to seeing you in that one.